It's hard to pinpoint exactly when my parents knew that I was special. It could be when I said my first word at 5 months old, when I started reading by the time I was 3, or when I solved a Rubik's Cube at 4 in less than 30 seconds. Hi, I'm Katie, and none of that is to brag, by the way, because being a genius has brought me more misery than I would wish on my worst enemy. Yeah, I actually have a worst enemy, and you're about to find out who she is. But first, please like and subscribe. My father was a famous actor who starred in a ton of action movies. He fell in love with my mother, a jewelry designer. She designed the engagement ring he intended to give to another woman, but he broke off that relationship to be with my mother. I know, messed up, right? When I was 5, I was being dragged around the world to movie sets where my father would show me off like some freak Einstein circus monkey. Daddy, I need to pee.
You can only go after you tell everyone who the 5th, 16th, 25th, and 40th presidents were.
Come on, Paul. Katie really needs to go.
She can go as soon as she answers the question.
James Monroe, Abraham Lincoln, William McKinley, and then I peed. The entire movie's cast and crew burst out laughing, and I was completely humiliated. My mother finally had enough and divorced him, taking me back to her hometown. I would love to say things got better there, but believe it or not, they only got worse. Like, a lot worse. My mom opened a jewelry store, which took up all of her time, so she got me a nanny who had a daughter named Scarlett. Scarlett was 4 years older than me and was really, but really dumb. Just to give you an idea of how dumb she was, when her mom told her that carrots helped her see in the dark, she went outside at night and tried to use one as a flashlight. Scarlett didn't like that I was so much smarter than her, so her favorite activity was torturing me, like hanging me out the window by my ankles, filling my pillowcase with spiders, and replacing my cereal with dog treats. How's your cereal, Katie? Maybe afterward we can go play fetch. Except I knew what my cereal looked like and switched our bowls when she wasn't looking. My mom put me in kindergarten, but it was way too easy for me. While the other kids were playing with finger paint, I was doing math equations. As much as I hated being in school, I hated being home more because of Scarlett. I tried to tell my mom, but Scarlett had a secret weapon. But Mommy, I hate her. She tried to put my book in the toilet.
Scarlett, is that true?
The one thing that Scarlett was good at, besides bullying, was acting. Never! It really hurts my feelings when Katie says these things. Scarlett could cry on command. I mean, like, full-on sobbing. Mom, she's... But I couldn't even finish my sentence before my mom was comforting Scarlett.
There, it's okay. No matter what happened, I'm sure you two can work it out, right?
And then Scarlett ran and hugged me.
Aw, that's wonderful. I'm going to work. See you two besties tonight.
And the second my mom was gone, my book was in the toilet. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, they did. The school's principal skipped me to the 3rd grade. Guess with who? You've got it. Freaking Scarlett. Yeah, she was left back a year because, as we already established, was really dumb. When I got to high school, I was too old to have a nanny, so my mom hired Scarlett's mother to help her run her jewelry store and let them stay in our house because she felt like they were family now. Yay. At school, Scarlett would play awful pranks on me, like putting laxatives in my lunch or filling my hand sanitizer with super sticky glue. One night, I sat out in the backyard crying. I just wanted to be normal and with kids my own age. Then, through the guest house window, I saw something unbelievable. Scarlett was watching Mean Girls and acting out the part. They say you're a homeschooled jungle freak who's a less hot version of me. She was actually really good. But then she turned and looked right at me. Oh no. I sprinted back to my room. I was up all night, terrified about what Scarlett was going to do to me. The next day at school, Scarlett just stared nonstop at me in our first period class. As soon as the bell rang, I sprinted out of the classroom and hid in the janitor's closet.
This is my closet. Go find your own.
I nearly jumped out of my skin. I turned on the light to find a boy sitting in a chair with his feet up on the wall. His hair was long and messy, his clothes were too big, and he had like 20 earrings. He was Wesley, the school weirdo. The rumor was that his family was homeless. I can't leave.
Yeah, Scarlett, right?
Yeah, I think she may actually kill me.
She's just a sad girl, just like my sister, Alice.
Your sister?
Yeah, believe it or not, Alice makes Scarlett look like an angel.
That's horrible. Wait, why are you in here?
It's my place to get away from everyone. I hate drama.
Wow, I totally get that. People are so...
Petty? Judgmental? Mean?
Yes, I'm Katie, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm a pretty good observer.
Just with that, Wesley and I became best friends. I felt like a total jerk. I always thought he was just a weirdo, but he was the first person who actually understood me. For the next few weeks, Wesley and I spent more and more time together at school. He helped me get away from Scarlett. Wesley knew every hiding place in the school. Under the stairs, in the attic, there was even an old broken service elevator. I had no idea. For a while, things were looking up. And then one night, something incredible happened. I received a letter from one of the top universities in the country. They wanted me to attend next year and were scheduling an interview at my house. I would finally be rid of Scarlet for good. I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. I wanted to celebrate, but Wesley would never meet me outside of school. There was always an excuse, but this time I wasn't taking no for an answer. I tracked down his address online and went there. I figured we would pull up to a homeless shelter, but we turned into the driveway of the biggest mansion I had ever seen. I rang the bell, and this really pretty girl with perfect makeup opened the door. Whatever you're selling, we don't want any. Oh, I'm not selling anything. I'm here to see Wesley. Does he live here? Hey, loser! Someone is actually here to see you. What do you want with my loser brother? Oh, you're Alice, Wesley's demon sister.
Katie, what are you doing here?
Hi. Wow, Wesley. Is a real girl coming here to take you out? There must be something seriously wrong with her.
Leave us alone, Alice.
Wesley took me to his room, which was filled with books and other cool things. He even had a VR experience, and we got to dive in the deep sea with sharks, whales, and all kinds of marine animals. It was so cool. But just as we were about to approach a giant squid, the game got too real. Suddenly, a wave of water drenched us from top to bottom. We took off our visors, and there was Alice, holding a huge bucket of water and laughing her head off.
Alice, what the heck?
Only improving your immersive experience. You're welcome, guys. Before we could respond, Alice had already vanished, and Wesley's RV was ruined. As we dried off in the bathroom, I looked at Wesley angrily. How can Scarlet and Alice be so hateful? What is wrong with them?
Alice and I were close when we were kids, but then my mom forced her into beauty pageants and would always criticize her when she lost. It changed her, and now she's like this.
Like Alice alone wasn't enough, Scarlet hadn't forgotten about me spying on her. She was like a snake, just waiting for the right opportunity to strike. And on the morning of the big interview at my house, she found it.
Well, Katie, we feel that you will be a perfect addition to our university, and it is my honor to offer you.
Oh, Katie! Just as the recruiter was about to make me the offer, Scarlet walked in. My entire body froze. Oh, sorry. Is this a bad time? I'm Scarlet, Katie's bestie. Hi, bestie. Can you please come back later? I would, but I have my math test coming up and need that special sheet you always give me with all the answers. I have the money, I swear.
She pays you to give her the answers to your tests?
That's not true. She's lying.
Okay, I think we are done here.
Please, don't listen to her. I've never cheated in my life. Me neither. And that was the end of it. Scarlet won. Did I scare your little college recruiter off? Oopsie. I was so angry, I just exploded. You are a horrible, horrible human being. In fact, I wouldn't even call you human. You are a monster. The next morning, as I was going to my locker, a crowd was around someone. Wesley walked up to me, and he looked as depressed as I was.
Did you see? We have a new student.
When the crowd cleared, I saw who our new student was. It was Alice.
She got expelled from her all-girls school, so my mother was able to bribe our school to take her in.
And then she saw me and Wesley, came over and turned to the crowd. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun here together. Now you can't avoid me. Alice laughed like a true Disney villain and left with her new group of followers.
I guess I'll just have to wait for her to add this school to her expulsion collection.
You know what? No, I've had enough of these bullies. We are gonna fight back.
No, Katie, just ignore them. We can't fight with them.
They are older, stronger, and meaner, but we are smarter. We are not gonna fight them ourselves, Wesley. We're gonna make them fight each other.
I'm listening.
We may not be able to change them, but we maybe can redirect their hate. I told Wesley the rest of my plan, and he agreed to join me. We were going to make our bullies mortal enemies. First of all, we sent a little welcome to our school gift to Alice from Scarlet. Oh my God, is this the new Da Vinci? It wasn't. Wesley simply took the empty bottle from her trash. This is my favorite perfume. But I guess you could call it perfume. It certainly had a memorable fragrance. Alice put it on and immediately realized it was not her favorite Da Vinci. Yuck! Ugh, this smells like skunk! Actually, it was a nasty mix of fermented anchovies, spoiled cheese, and overripe cabbage. But yeah, just as bad as skunk and even harder to get off. Exactly at the same time, we printed a fake version of the school newspaper, which Alice had just begun to run, and in a very special edition, we crowned Scarlet as the champion of, well, everything on the worst list. From fashion disasters to bad hair days, makeup mishaps, terrible classmates, and the worst student overall. You name it, she snagged the title. As soon as she saw it, Scarlet burst into flames and went in search of Alice. They met in the middle of the hallway. The tension was so intense that it felt like a Dragon Ball Z battle. This is war! And thus the war began. And believe me, they pulled out their heavy weapons. Their pranks were, let's say, pretty original. Alice kicked things off by spreading the rumor that Scarlet was really a 40-year-old divorcee posing as a teenager. That doesn't make any sense. Scarlet fired back bluntly and traditionally, vandalizing Alice's Barbie car and, brace for impact, painting it black. No! That's not even a real color! Alice carried out her revenge following the old rules of the glitter warfare. She hid a glitter bomb in Scarlet's locker, and when she opened it, she turned the entire hallway into an impromptu disco party. It took Scarlet weeks to get all the glitter off her. And how could we forget the time that Scarlet locked Alice in the bath with a little mouse? Next level torture right there. Of course, like top-tier bullies, they occasionally ditched their sophisticated tactics for some classic down and dirty hand-to-hand combat. Yet the best part of my master plan was that they were good to us, even though it was just to infuriate the other. It's amazing what hate can lead to.
You're truly a genius.
I should be modest, but I can't. I am a genius. Our era of prosperity and peace incredibly lasted for a year. However, as usual, nothing good ever lasts. When it seemed that this beautiful war would continue for generations, Alice delivered a precise and lethal blow. Somehow she got her hands on a video of Scarlet performing in the toilet, just as I had seen her months before at home in front of her TV. She made it viral at school, and Scarlet became a laughingstock. The war was over, and Alice had won it.
Long live the Queen Alice! Long live!
Well, maybe they didn't cheer like that, but you guys get the point. When I got home, Scarlet was still crying, and the waterfalls didn't slow down for days. She even stopped going to school because she was so embarrassed. I had finally beaten my bully, but surprisingly, I didn't feel great. On the contrary, I felt sorry for her, and so very, very guilty. Not because she didn't have it coming. She had it coming. Oh boy, did she have it coming. Still, the feeling of being the one causing her tears felt horrible, even worse than when I was the one crying because of her evil deeds. So I decided to come clean and face the consequences of my actions. Scarlet, go away! The scream was frightening enough to give me second thoughts about confessing, but I carried on. I have something to tell you. After confessing all about my plan, I closed my eyes and waited for my punishment. I hope this is quick and painless, or at least just quick. I waited a few seconds, but nothing happened. I opened my eyes and looked at Scarlet. Aren't you gonna murder me? I should, but I kind of get why you did it. It's not fun at all to be on the receiving end. No, it isn't. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know what it is. Don't make me say it. Yeah, I know. Me too. For what it's worth, I think you have a real talent as an actress. You think so? Totally. You had my mom believing you were an innocent angel for years. Not even Zendaya could pull off a character like that. Aw, thanks. Then, something unprecedented began taking place. Scarlet and I went in for a hug. However, just as we were about to make it happen, nope, that's too much. You did ruin my life. And you ruined my future. Call it even? Sure. The following weeks were pretty good, actually. Scarlet called the college recruiter and explained everything. I'm going to college! I'm going to college! I'm going to college! As a thank you, I showed the tape of Scarlet acting to my dad, and he got her a small role in his next movie. When word of that got around the school, Scarlet got noticed again, but this time for good. Even better, she became part of our little crew. Wesley, it's time you also stand up for yourself against your sister. By now, Alice had assembled an army of plastic girls and drooling boys that would do anything she said. And with no rival, Alice went back to making Wesley's life miserable, until one day during lunch in the cafeteria, Alice walked up to Wesley and acted like she had stumbled, making all her food spill onto him. Wesley stood up and pulled out an old photo from his wallet and showed it to Alice.
See this picture, Alice? It's from when you won your first beauty pageant. Look how happy we both look here.
Yes, I look pretty, unlike your dorky face. In a moment of frustration, Wesley tore the picture into pieces, shocking Alice. How dare you?
I always missed your younger self, Alice, and I hoped you would go back to being my lovely sister, but I guess you chose to be a witch, and I'm done waiting or being patient.
Alice tried to push Wesley away, but he held her hand tightly and firmly.
You really thought you're stronger than me, Alice? I never touched you because I respected you as my big sister.
You're hurting me!
I'll hurt you more if you don't back off.
My friends are around me. Guys, you know what to do! But just as Alice's friends were about to step in, Scarlet and I appeared from behind Wesley. And we know what to do too. The kids behind Alice began to look scared and uncertain while she stomped her feet in frustration. Fine, you don't talk to me and I won't talk to you.
Sounds good to me.
With that, Alice left and we all hugged, knowing we had finally stood up to the bullies.
I learned from the best.